By the mid-17th century, the map of the Indian subcontinent was defined by a strict geopolitical duopoly. To the north, the Mughal Empire controlled immense wealth and territory. To the south, the Bijapur Sultanate exerted absolute authority. Look at the scale of this Adil Shahi monument. Projects of this magnitude required a vast entrenched tax base and massive standing armies. For any local uprising, the math was brutal. Opposing the Sultanate meant facing a heavily armed institutional superpower. This was the environment in 1630 when Shivaji Bhosale was born at Shivneri Fort. His father was a commander for the Bijapur Sultanate, but his mother, Jijabai, raised him with a different objective: Hindavi Swaraj, the vision of an independent state free from imperial rule. The problem was one of physics and resources. How does a localized rebellion, lacking a formal treasury or a standing army, survive against the two most powerful military machines on the subcontinent? Fighting them on an open field would lead to immediate defeat. To succeed, this movement had to abandon the rules of conventional warfare in favor of a radical military doctrine. Shivaji started by recruiting the Mavlas, young men native to the local mountains. Rather than building a slow, heavily armored infantry, he organized a highly mobile force that specialized in stealth and speed. These are the Sahyadri Mountains. The terrain itself became their primary weapon. Because the landscape is defined by dense valleys and steep, uneven ridges, the heavy cavalry charges favored by imperial armies were physically impossible here. At just 15 years of age, Shivaji captured his first fort, Torna. This victory secured the first node in a growing network of strategic, high-altitude strongholds. Instead of using these forts as defensive hideouts, his forces used them as elevated launch pads. They would strike imperial supply lines and outposts, then vanish back into the hills before the larger enemy armies could mobilize a counterattack. The Bijapur Sultanate eventually deployed a direct countermeasure. Afzal Khan, a massive, heavily armed general sent to crush the Maratha resistance. Shivaji feigned submission, arranging a diplomatic meeting. When Afzal Khan attempted to crush him during an embrace, Shivaji struck first with a concealed set of Wagnak, tiger claws. He killed the general and sent the leaderless army into chaos. This sudden disruption directly drew the attention of the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb. He dispatched his own general, Shaista Khan, who occupied the city of Pune with an overwhelming force. In 1663, Shivaji executed a daring night raid directly into Shaista Khan's heavily guarded camp at Lal Mahal. The surprise attack was so intense that the general fled the city, a major embarrassment for the imperial court. Aurangzeb's response was overwhelming mass. He sent General Jai Singh with an army so large that Shivaji was forced to sign the Treaty of Purandar in 1665, surrendering multiple forts to buy time. The following year, Aurangzeb lured Shivaji to Agra under the pretense of diplomacy, only to lock him under house arrest deep inside imperial territory. But the confinement didn't hold. Shivaji orchestrated an escape, smuggling himself out of the high-security zone hidden inside large baskets of sweets. Shivaji's survival relied on recognizing that psychological shock and strategic deception could neutralize a vastly superior military mass. By 1674, the rebellion had secured enough territory to formalize its power. Here at Raigad, Shivaji was crowned Chhatrapati, legally transforming his movement into a sovereign empire. Reaching the western coast, Shivaji encountered a new variable: heavily armed European merchant ships. Recognizing that a land-based army couldn't protect a shoreline, he directed the construction of coastal forts and a formal Indian naval fleet. To manage the state, he decentralized power. He established the Ashtapradhan, an 8-minister council that divided administrative duties into specialized branches, creating an efficient bureaucracy. This administration implemented progressive domestic policies, direct support to farmers, strict codes to ensure the safety and respect of women, and the protection of religious freedom across his territories. Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj died on April 3, 1680, but the administrative structures he built ensured that his passing did not halt the momentum of the state he engineered. Shivaji started with a handful of mountain forts and a severe resource deficit. By layering asymmetric tactics over a sophisticated administrative foundation, he proved a dominant imperial power could be replaced by an independent state.